The kind of Slavicization of Macedonia, which gave birth to the so-called Slavic Macedonians, as they claim they are, the supposedly deserved ancestors of ancient Macedonians. Are such claims true up to the 15th century AD? The answer, dear friends, is no. Such claims are not true up to the 15th century AD. The distinction between Macedonians, Thessalians, Spartans in antiquity, which indicated, among other things, Greek tribes of distinct customs, spoken dialects, ceased to exist with the passage of time. As of the Hellenistic period, almost all Greeks were using the Attic dialect for their communication, while all the other dialects of Greek were dropped from regular use. The rise of Christianity erased distinctions based in religious matters, and the place of residence was then used to distinguish, say, the Thessalians from the Macedonians and the Athenians. Their common Greek dialect, which was the Attic one, though, evolved differently in various regions, thus giving the various dialects of modern Greek which we have today. To say that Macedonians vanished sometime in the 7th century AD is to claim that the Greeks, and in brackets we say that many of them were ancestors of Doric people called Macedonians, other possibly ancestors of other Aeolic and Doric peoples, close the brackets, who were residing in Macedonia were all killed at that time, which is really an absurdity. Around 688, the Emperor Justinian II, after the defeat of the Bulgars and Slavs in Lower Moesia, transferred all the Slavs in the northern European part of his empire, and that is of Macedonia and Thrace of nowadays Greece, and the territories covering the Republic of Skopje, Albania and the parts of Bulgaria, to Asia Minor. These were estimated to be 80,000, but probably were more than that, since 2 years later, the emperor, preparing for a war against the Arabs, conscripted 30,000 men from this population to his army. These Slavs subsequently switched sides and supported the Arabs. The emperor, for retribution, killed all the remaining Slavs in Asia Minor. About 100 years later, dear friends, in 773 AD, the Bulgarian population in the Balkans was reduced after repeated defeats in battles with the Byzantine emperors. When the Bulgars decided to strengthen their army and find new recruits, they marched to Thessaly, since there were no Slavs in Macedonia, to capture a small Slavic tribe which was living there. On the way there, they were annihilated by the Byzantine forces. In the next century, forced movements of Slavic populations from Greece to Asia Minor continued. The conclusion is that the Byzantine emperors did everything possible to clear up the northern territories of the Empire of Slavs. Various non-Greek sources indicate that not only Macedonia of modern-day Greece, but also the Republic of Skopje were Greek till the late 15th century AD. C. Jorisic claimed that Macedonians were always Greek, and all the area south of the line, defined by the cities Achis, Skopje, Nisa, and Sofia, was Greek. An assertion also confirmed by other authors such as Thomas Mommsen and A. Carnage. Herzberg, who was a German, said that in 1282 in his book, the population below the line Eptinos Pontus, Emos, Kustendi, Skopje was Greek in tongue, in customs, and working for the Greek interests. One can then wonder when the Bulgarian idiom spoken by the Skopjans was in use, say, in the lands of nowadays the Republic of Skopje, let alone in antiquity, since Skopjans claim that the Slavic idiom spoken by the Slavs who descended to the Balkans in the 7th century AD was used by the ancient Macedonians 1,000 years earlier. The French historian Hormont also claims that in the 13th century, the area from Prystreni to Nissa was empty of people. If there were no Slavs there, then how and when the Macedonians of Skopjean type appeared in Macedonia and the Republic of Skopje? He asked himself that question. This is the reason Albanians occupy the region of Kossifopedio. We will discuss this further difference in subsequent programs. As we have already commenced Lent, I would like to take this opportunity and wish all our listeners καλή σαρακοστή, καλή δύναμη during the next 40 days. Μέχρι την άλλη εβδομάδα, συγγνώμη Γιάννη, να είστε καλά, καλή δύναμη και εύχομαι το πρόγραμμα να πάει πιο δυνατά και να το ακούνε όλοι.
Σε ευχαριστούμε Κωνσταντίνη για την προσφορά σου και έτσι ψηλά τα λάβαρα και να γνωρίζεις ότι το θρήτριο μας παρέσει αυτά τα δυνατά που λες και πάντα έτσι δυνατό να είσαι.
Παρακαλώ και να είστε καλά. Γεια σας.
Ευχαριστούμε, να είσαι καλά. Γεια σου καλέ μου φίλε. Μάλιστα. Κυρίες και κύριοι, ακούσαμε τον δάσκαλό μας Κωνσταντίνο Βουζίκο, την ιστορία μας στην αγγλική γλώσσα. Πάμε ένα κομμάτι έτσι και μετά να δούμε τι έχουμε ετοιμάσει. Γεια σας.